Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls of all ages. Spank the Monkey back again with another unboxing video, this time of Final Fantasy Play Boosters from the Universes Beyond set of cards. Now, I think this will be my last unboxing for the year, and we're going to cap that off with a doozy. This is Final Fantasy, which I think is arguably the best, or if not the top two best sets of the year. And while I was a fan of Final Fantasy, it's something that I haven't played in such a long time. And I'm not too familiar anymore with the different stuff that came out in the IP past Final Fantasy IV. So for those who may know, that is like maybe early 90s. So having said that, let's get to this unboxing and see if we can pull out some good stuff in this box. Okay, so while I'm opening this, just a little bit of story time. So when I was growing up, I did play a lot of video games. But from a game console perspective, I stopped at the what do you call this? The Super NES, right? And I did not anymore get the PlayStation until recently, when I got a PlayStation 4. But if you know, like all of the Final Fantasy stuff that came out in the PlayStation, I think those are a lot of the stuff here that people know. So unfortunately, the one that I know is the one coming from the Super NES, which at that time it's called Final Fantasy 2. I don't know why it's called Final Fantasy 4 here in this Universes Beyond set. But okay, fine, let's go with it. So I do know some of the characters from there, and we're gonna see if I can pick some of them up, at least the ones that are familiar to me. And let's hopefully get some nice spicy pulls. All right, let's get to the first one. Here we go. So for those who are seeing this, it's probably gonna be released sometime right before Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everyone. And to start off, these are Japanese packs. So maybe for the first stack, we'll go through the back first, because I'm not familiar with this IP, so might as well do it slowly. Okay, so we have, okay, for the commons, Gaisal Greens, okay, to cast sorcery, cool. And then we have a Hecte Eyes, okay, interesting. Creature enters, each one discards a card. Okay, and then a Mysidian Elder. Yeah, so this is from FF4, and this I do remember. I think Mysidia is like a sort of legendary land where the protagonist, I think, sort of came from. Okay, and then summon Choco Mog. Right, so chocobos seem to be all over the place. And a Rook Turret. Okay, for the cast Construct. Okay, and Prishi's Wanderings. Okay, this is FF11, so I have no idea what that is. And then we have Adventurer's Airship. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, let me just turn on the charger. Okay, here we go. There you go. Okay, to start off the uncommons, we have Ultros Obnoxious Octopus, Rinoa Heartily. So this is a legendary creature, 2/4/4, 5 to cast. When it enters, create Angelo, a legendary 1/1 green and white dog creature token. And whenever Rinoa attacks another target creature you control, it's 1/1 until end of turn for each creature you control. Okay. And then we have a Samurai's Katana. So that looks pretty sick. 3 to cast equipment, job select. When this equipment enters, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token, then attach this to it. Equipped creature gets 2/2, has trample haste, and is a samurai in addition to its other types. Hey, that's not bad for 3 mana. Okay. So we're coming to the business end of it. Maybe another uncommon. No, we're starting off with a mythic. This is fantastic. Summon Knights of the Round. So this is 6 to cast, white from FF7. First chapter, create 3 2/2 white knight creature tokens. So you do that for 4 chapters. And ultimate end, the 5th chapter, other creatures you control get 2/2 until end of turn. Put an indestructible counter on each of them. Oh, this is insane. And this is a enchantment creature Saga Knight. So does this mean like when it comes into play, it's already a creature that's indestructible? That's pretty cool. So our first mythic right on the first pack. What are the chances of that? Okay, so we'll put that over here. Okay, sorry, let me just fix up the lighting situation a little bit there, just to remove some of the glare. Okay, so put that over here. Okay, so we start off with a mythic, and then we have uncommon borderless or showcase art, I suppose, from the game. Squall Lionheart, 3 to cast, Danitha Captain Paragon. Danitha Capashen Paragon, okay. Legendary creature, Human Knight, first strike, Vig, and lifelink, or an equipped spells you cast, cost 1 less to cast. Okay. So the reprint here, uncommon, and one more. Okay, we have a foil diamond weapon, which is a 9 to cast legendary artifact creature elemental, 8/8, costs 1 less to cast for each permanent card in your graveyard with reach. And then it has immune, prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to diamond weapon. Okay, and I think that's it. Yeah, and a land. Okay, so I'll put that land over here. So to start off with, we get a lovely mythic. Oops, sorry. There you go. And then a signed art card. I don't know if anyone actually collects this stuff, but we'll see. Okay, so pack number 1. We do have a mythic. I don't know if that's considered a spicy mythic though, but I'll take it. Okay, we're moving on to pack number 2. Okay, so we have a Grand Pulse Ochu, 1 to cast, Beast, and it has Death Touch, 1/1, pay 8. This creature gets 1/1 for each permanent in your graveyard. Okay, that can get pretty big. Kutrub Forayer. Okay, 3 to cast, Zombie Horror. When this creature enters, destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn, or exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Cool. Okay, next up we have a Light of Judgment. So 5 to cast instant, deal 6 damage to target creature, destroy up to 1 equipment attached to that creature. Okay. And we have a Coral Cat Beast, 2 to cast, 2/2, pay 2, tap target non-enchantment creature. Okay. Then we have a Retrieve the Esper. So it's a 4 to cast sorcery. Create a 3/3 blue robot warrior artifact creature token. And this spell was cast from graveyard. Put 2 1/1 counters on that token with flashback. Okay. And we have a Magic Pot. So artifact creature, Goblin Construct, 3 to cast. When it dies, create a treasure token. Pay 2, tap, exile target card from a graveyard. Okay. And then we have from FF10, Ride the Shoe Puff. 2 to cast enchantment landfall. Whenever land you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Pay 7. This enchantment becomes a 7/7 beast in addition to its other types. Okay. Nice. Oh, so that's uncommon. Sorry, let me put that into the uncommon pile. We have Fire Magic, 1 to cast, instant, tiered. So choose 1 additional cost. So fire, 0, deals 1 damage to each creature. For Fira, pay 2. Fire Magic deals 2 damage to each creature. And if you pay 5, in addition to the red, it deals 3 damage to each creature. Which I think it's a quite versatile card. Next up, we have a Judge Magister Gabrant, so legendary creature, 2/2 from FF12. And it's what do you call this? White and black. With Menache, whenever another creature or artifact you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on the Judge. Okay, and then we have a two-faced card. So this would be Neo X Death Dimensions End. So it's a spirit avatar with trample, star and 3, where Neo X Death's power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Ooh, I think I spoiled something there. but let's open this up. Okay, it's actually X-Death Void Warlock. So 1 Golgari Spirit Warlock 3/3. When it enters, you gain 3 life at the beginning of your end step. If there are 6 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, you can transform it. Okay, and then yeah, so the spoiled card is Dion, Bahamut's Dominant. So it's a 4 to cast Human Noble Knight. 3/3. When it enters, create a 2/2 white knight creature token, then pay 6, tap, exile Dion, then return to the battlefield, transformed into Bahamut, Warden of Light. So it's a 5/5 flying creature, legendary enchantment creature. So first chapter, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. Those creatures can fly until end of turn. Do that for 2 chapters. And the third one, Giga Flare. Destroy target permanent, exile Bahamut, then return to the battlefield. Okay, so first rare, we'll put it over here. Okay, and okay, we have a rare in the showcase art, Gilgamesh, Weapon Warrior, that's 6 to cast, which is actually a reprint of Godo. So yeah, when Gilgamesh enters, you may search your library for equipment card, put it into the battlefield, and then shuffle. Then when it attacks, first time each turn, untap it, and all samurai you control. After this, there's an additional combat phase. You know, I'm not a big fan of this type of lettering where it's white with... Sorry, let me change the lighting situation again. Okay. Sorry, let me... So just so that you can appreciate this a little bit better. Oh, there you go. There you go. So Gilgamesh, see, look at that. It's like the text, I don't know, it doesn't work for me. But hey, so that's a rare showcase. I'll put it over here. And for the foil, we have a Gaelicat. Okay, 3 to cast. Flying Vig, 1/3. As long as you control 2 or more artifacts, creature gets +2/+0. And then I think this would be land, which is a mountain. And then a hero token. Okay, so pack number 2, it was a double rare. So, okay, that's good. And we got this Gilgamesh, which is the Godo equivalent. By the way, I have not checked the card prices on these stuff. So hit me up in the comments if I'm getting something good. The only thing I know is like Chocobo, Traveling Chocobo, and maybe this guy here, right? And I think an artifact or something, but yeah. Okay, so let's start off with over here. Okay, so a Chocobo Kick, sorcery. All right, then we have a Malboro, 6 to cast Plant Horror with Bad Breath. Okay, so when this creature enters, each opponent loses. Each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3 cards of their library. It has Swamp Cycling. Okay, hold on. Let me just adjust this slightly. Okay, there you go. Oops. Okay, sorry about that. Just adjusted the camera there just to make it a little bit more level. All right. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I just adjusted the camera to make it more level. Next up, we have a item Shopkeep. So 2 to cast Human Citizen. When you attack, target attacking equipped creature gains Menache until end of turn. Okay. We have a Weapons Vendor. Okay, that's pretty cool. Next would be a Syncopate. Okay, I think that's a reprint, maybe. Next up, we have Monk's Fist equipment with Job Select. All right. And then we get a Ahriman, so 3 to cast, Eye Horror, Flying, Death Touch. Pay 3, sacrifice another creature or artifact, draw a card. Okay, so this is a sack outlet. Pretty good. And this is from FF3. So I think FF3 was called Mystic Quest. And I think that might be the first one on a console, because I think there were some like what do you call this, Final Fantasy stuff that came out on handheld consoles, right, like Game Boy or something. But anyway, I'll look into that later on. So to start off with the uncommons, we have Summon Fenrir, 3 to cast, Crescent Fang. Search library for a basic card, put it in battlefield tap, shuffle, and then when you cast your next spell this turn, that creature enters with a 1/1 additional counter on it. And then Ecliptic Growl, draw a card for if you control that creature with the greatest power or tied for the greatest power. Okay. Next up, we have a Magitech Armor, 4 to cast, artifact vehicle. When it enters, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token, crew for 1. Okay, and the uncommons, Valkyrie Aerial Unit, 7 to cast, construct, 5/4 with affinity to artifacts, flying. When this creature enters, surveil 2. Okay, here we go. Hopefully we got something good. Oh no, it's still another uncommon. It's the Gold Saucer, which is a land town. Tap 4, colorless, pay 2, flip a coin. If you win the flip, create a treasure token. Pay 3, tap, sacrifice 2 artifacts, draw a card. Okay, another sack outlet there. Okay, here we go. So let's do it from the top. Insomnia Crown City for the land. For the foil, we have a Red Mage's Rapier. So it's a 2 to cast artifact equipment with job select. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It is a wizard in addition to its types. And we have a rare form from FF3. It is the Wind Crystal. Okay, cool. So this is a 4 to cast legendary artifact. White spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And if you gain life, gain twice that much life instead. And then you can pay 4, tap, creatures you control gain flying and lifelink until end of turn. Hey, I do like that card. Very versatile. Costs quite a lot though. But it's I suppose it's yeah, I think this has good utility. So I think this is a pretty good card. Okay, so I think we've opened a couple of commons and uncommons already. So let's speed up this unboxing by going straight to the business end of these packs. And let's see what we get. Okay, hold on. Okay, first up we have the art card. I don't know who that is, but yeah, we'll take that. Okay, Treno Dark City for the land. These duels. And then for the foil, we have a common, which is White Mage Staff, 2 to cast, artifact equipment with job select. Creature gets 1/1, has whenever this creature attacks, you gain 1 life, and is a cleric, in addition to its other types. Okay, and then we have a uncommon Luca Stadium. So 3 to cast, I suppose this is a land, Strixhaven Stadium. Oh, okay. So this is a reprint. Yeah, so I think this one we already know. So that's for the borderless showcase art. For the rare, we have the Wandering Minstrel. Okay, let me just put that over here. So it's Simic, legendary human bard. Lands you control enter untapped. And then with Minstrel's Ballad, at the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you control 5 or more towns, create a 2/2 elemental creature token that's all colors. And then you can pay 3 Wooburg. Other creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of towns you control. The Wandering Minstrel. Okay. Is that Edward? From FF4. No, sorry, no, 14. So yeah, I probably don't know this. Okay. Next, we have an Albed Salvagers for the uncommon. Battle Menu to the cast. Okay, create a knight. Creature gets +0/+4. Destroy target creature 4 or greater, or you gain 4 life. Okay. Prime Vista. Legendary artifact vehicle. Okay, and then commons. Nothing special there. So, oh, Suplex. Here we go. I think this is Sabin from FF. What is this? FF6. Deals 3 damage to target creature. If that creature would die, exile target artifact. Okay, so there's some stuff here that I'll take a look at later on, and feel the flavor of this set. Again, I only know like maybe um, two Final Fantasy games that I've actually played. So it was Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 that were on the SNES or Super NES. Okay, and let's take a look. So we have a borderless swamp over here, and then foil Scorpion Sentinel, 2 to cast Robot Scorpion, 1/4. And for the rare, we have a Barnabas Tharmer. So 3 blue and red legendary zombie horror with flying and haste, 4/4. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card, and it has partner. So this is Crom, Landvik's Opus. Okay, so this is a sort of a reprint. Okay, so it's because it's a nice showcase art card, I'll put that over here. Oh, but we do have another rare from FF3 coming up, and that is the Earth Crystal. Cool. So we've picked up another crystal. So maybe I might be wrong. Maybe FF3 is what I know as FF2. Okay, so yeah, maybe it's one because I know that in FF3 that was the thing, right? You collect the crystals, then you go to the moon. Okay, so this is a 4 to cast legendary artifact. Green spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If you put 1 or more counters on, that way you put on a creature. Put twice that many, then pay 4, tap, distribute 2 1/1 counters among 1 or 2 creatures you control. Okay, that is, I think, pretty decent. I think that's sort of playable in maybe 1 or 2 of my decks. We have Poison the Waters coming up. Tidus Blitzball Star. Okay. Ridius Return. FF4. Yeah, yeah. So FF4 is the one I was talking about, and I think that's Ciso. Okay, 5 to cast sorcery. Creatures you control get 3/3 until end of turn, or return up to 2 target permanent cards from the graveyard to your hand. Okay, and then some comments. Are there any expensive commons or uncommons from the set? Yeah, let me know in the comments if there are, because I would love to know if I'm getting good cards here at the tail end of it. Okay, so to start off, we have a bird token. This is pack number 7 now, I believe. Okay, and then for the land, we have a Gone, Town of Ruin. For the foil, we have a Unexpected Request. So it's a 3 to cast sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste. You may attach equipment you control to that creature. If you do, unattach it at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, that's pretty cool. For the rare, we have a Summer's Grimoire. So what does this do? It's a 4 to cast equipment artifact with job select. And then it says, equipped creature is a shaman in addition to its other types, and has, whenever this creature attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If that card is an enchantment card, it enters tapped and attacking. Hey, this is pretty good. I do like this. I have a enchantment, what's that? Anixia from the one of the precons, and this would be perfect for that. This would be perfect. So this is a good pickup, at least from a collection perspective. I don't know if this costs anything, but hey, it's pretty cool. Okay, we have then a showcase uncommon Torgal, a Fine Hound, 2 to cast Wolf, 2/2, and whenever you cast your first human creature spell each turn, that creature enters with additional 1/1 counter on it for each dog or wolf you control, and then you can tap it to add mana. Okay, Tonberry, that's a pretty cute guy over there. Snow Villiers, human rebel monk. Okay, and then we have Summon Shiva. So 1 and 2 chapter, tap target creature and opponent controls, put a stun counter on it, and then on 3rd, draw a card for each tapped creature your opponents control. Okay, so world map, Lunatic Pandora, Ice Flan. Okay, funny. Fate of the Suncrest, Light of Judgment, Vane's Treachery, and then Blitzball Shot. Okay, so we're coming now to the last few packs of the first stack. We did get 1 mythic. I'm hoping that we get at least 5. these 5. But we did get 2 crystals, which I think are pretty good. And this Summoner's Grimoire, I like that card. I think I'll be using that in one of my decks. Then we have these showcase art reprints. Okay, so let's move on. So we have a hero token here. And then we have a land that's foil, which is Guadasalam, Farplane Gateway. Excuse me. Alright, and then for the foil, we have an Overkill, which is 3 to cast instant. Target creature gets -0, -99 until end of turn. Okay, if there was an Overkill, this would be it. That's a pretty cool card. I don't know if there's something that we can do with this. I'm sure there is. But yeah, that would be fun to do. Okay, for the rare, it is Stiltskin Moogle Merchant. So it's a 1 to cast Moogle with lifelink 1/2. Pay 2. Target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. Okay. So nothing under that. So we have Vanille, Cheerful Ichi. I guess that's how you say it. Okay, uncommon. Black Waltz number 3. So 4 to cast. Flying Death Touch 2/2. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this thing deals 2 damage to each opponent. Okay, so you can chain that. That would be pretty bad for your opponents. Okay, we have Cactuar. That's funny. From FF6, 1 to cast, plant 3/3. Okay, and at the beginning of your end step, if this creature didn't enter the battlefield this turn, return to its owner's hand. Okay. Then we have Ash, Princess of Dalmasca. 3 to cast, Human Rebel Noble. 3/2. Whenever Ash attacks, look at the top 5 cards of the library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them, put it in your hand, then put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, and then comments here. Yeah, nothing great over there. So last 2 packs for stack number 1. I don't think we've hit anything of real value, at least from what I've seen in terms of what I see in our local Magic sort of community. None of the big hits yet, but I'm hoping that we can still get some. So we have Treno for the foil. For the foil uncommon, we have an Oran's Inspiration, so 3 to cast instant. Target attacking creatures you get +2/+0 until end of turn, and has flashback. Okay. Next, for the rare, we have Matoya, Archon Elder. So this is a 3 to cast Human Warlock coming from FF14 1/4. Whenever you scry or surveil, draw a card. Nice. So I think ever since when was this? Lord of the Rings, right? I think with Elrond or whatever, where scrying and surveilling draws you a card. There's more and more of these cards coming out. So I think that could be a pretty decent deck if you're able to chain these stuff together. Okay, so nothing under that, unfortunately. It's a side quest. Catch a fish. Random encounter. Okay. Quistis Trep. Final Fantasy 8 with blue magic. Enters, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. If that spell would be put into graveyard, exile instead. Okay. Then Phantom Train. Then a bunch of comments. Okay, last pack for the stack. We started off with the Mythic. Could we end this stack with a Mythic as well? Let's get a nice one. I hope we get a nice one. Like Buster Sword, I think, is one of those expensive cards. Okay, so we have a hero token. We have a Borderless Forest. For the foil common, we have a Monk's Fist, which we've already seen. And under that... Okay, cool. So I called it out. We have a Mythic here. I think in some special showcase art, it is Clive, Ifrit's Dominant. So what does this do? It's 4 and red to cast, Human Noble Warrior 5/5. So when Clive enters, you may discard your hand, then draw cards equal to your devotion to red. So that's cool. Pay 4, tap, exile Clive, return it to the battlefield transformed. Activate only as sorcery, and will come back as Ifrit, Warden of Inferno. So chapter 1. if it fights up to one other target creature. It's, by the way, it's a 9/9. And then for second, third chapters, add 4 red pips. If Ifrit has 3 or more lore counters on it, exile it, then return it to the battlefield. So it comes back again. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we have a nice showcase art mythic. I'll put that over here. Good pickup. At least we got another mythic. So maybe we'll end up with from this box with 6 mythics, I hope. Okay, so moving on. So we have in common Eden Seat of the Sanctum, a Sandworm. Okay, Rufus Shinra. And then Saj Chocobo. So it's a little birdie over there. So with landfall, when the land you control enters, put a 1 counter on this creature. 1 to cast. Cool. Instant ramen. So that's a thing. So that's the thing now. Okay. All right. Here we go. Moving on to the second stack. So 2 mythics, 2 showcase art cards, and 2 crystals. So it's like 2, 2, 2. Okay. Hoping for better luck on this stack. Again, I don't know what the value is, so do let me know if I'm getting something good from these cards. Right. Okay. By the way, I can say that based on the feel of this unboxing, the card stock seems pretty nice. So that's a good thing. Okay. So we have a Borderless Swamp. Okay, and then we have a foil Rydia, Summoner of Mist. So it's a Gruul, Human Shaman, 1/2. Whenever land you control enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card, and you can summon X and tap it. Return target Saga card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, and then then we just have an uncommon, which is Vestige, Thrum of the Vestige, 1 to cast for red. Thrum of the Vestige deals 3 damage to any target. Basically, it's lightning bolt. Okay. Next, we have Genji Glove. So what does this do? 5 to cast, artifact, equipment. Equipped creature has double strike. Whenever equipped creature attacks, if it's the first combat phase, untap it. After that, this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Wow. So it's 5 to cast, 3 to equip. Pretty strong. I think this could be potentially a good card too. Okay, don't know if it costs anything, but still. Okay, so Genji goes over here. Dragoon's Lance, so that would be Kane, I believe, from FF4. My favorite character, I think, in that game. So nice to see him here. So 2 to cast, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1 to 0, is a knight in addition to its other types. During your turn, equipped creature has flying, equipped for 4. Okay, Colosseum Behemoth, FF2, Sleep Magic, FF9, and then commons there. Okay, so moving on to the next pack. Fortunately, we did not open a mythic there. I was hoping that we can get some good stuff. Right, here we go. Hero, and then Baron Airship Kingdom, which is from FF4. That I remember. And for the foil, we have a foil uncommon Dark Knight's Great Sword from FF4. It's equipment with job select. Equipped creature gets +3/+0. And then equip, pay 3 life, activate only once each turn. Okay. And we have a foil uncommon, which is Baron Rivalry from FF4. So it's Deadly Dispute, 2 to cast. So I think this would be the Dragoon, Kane, and Cecil at that time. Dark Knight, I think, that's what he was. Okay, and then for the rare, we get a From Father to Sons, 2 to cast, sorcery, search your library for a vehicle card, vehicle put in your hand. If this spell is cast from your graveyard, put it in the battlefield instead. And it has pay 7 for flashback. Okay. I don't know if that was a good card. I think kind of sucked in my opinion. X-Death. Okay. Garnet, Princess of Alexandria. 2 to cast lifelink Human Noble Cleric, 2/2. When attacks, you may remove a lore counter. For any number of sagas you control, put a 1 counter on Garnet for each lore counter removed. Yeah, that might be useful. Prompto Argentum. 2 to cast Human Scout, 2/2 haste, Selfie Shot. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast, create a treasure token. Okay, so you get a little bit of a reprieve there on the mana. Eject. This spell can counter turn target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card for the cast. Okay, and then we have commons. Okay, so far I'm not sure if we got anything spicy yet. I don't know if Clive is any good, but it's a mythic. Yeah, it seems okay, but I think there are much more stronger cards in this set. Okay, here we go. Nice art there. Plain, and then for the foil we have a eject, right? For the rare we have Sarah Farron. So 1 Selesnya, human citizen, legendary 2/2. First legendary creature spell you cast costs 2 less to cast for each turn. Beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 2 or more other legendary creatures, you may transform Sarah, and it becomes Crystallized Sarah. So it's legendary artifact. First legendary creature spell you cast costs 2 less to cast, and then legendary creatures you control get +2/+2. Okay, so this one is just a plain rare, so I'll put that over here. Oops. Sorry, I sort of kicked that out of place. Right. And then, oh, we have a second rare. It is the Lunar Whale, which is from FF4. So this is what takes you to the moon. So it's 4 to cast, legendary artifact vehicle. Flying, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as the Lunar Whale attack this turn, you may play the top card of your library. Crew for 1. Okay, so that's cool. At least I'm seeing stuff that I recognize from the games, so I like that. Okay, summon Anima, 4 to cast, enchantment creature, Saga Horror. So first 4 lore counters, you draw a card and you lose 1 life, and then on the 4th one, each opponent sacrifices creature of their choice and loses 3 life. All right, Poison the Waters, Rydia again, Thief's Knife. So whenever this creature deals combat damage, draw a card. Okay, that's cool. All right, and then we have commons. Okay, so we get a double rare pack. I think that's the second one for this box. For some reason, these play boosters have much less chances to get 2 what do you call them? Rares or mythics. In the old set boosters, I think you would get more of that, but you know, sad that they scrapped the set boosters. Anyway, moving on. So we have this guy. Doesn't he look like the thing from She-Ra, or is it the He-Man? Okay, we have Wastes, full art. For the foil, we have a Circle of Power. So it's 4 cast sorcery. You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Create a 0/1 black wizard creature token. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Wizards you control get +1/+0 and lifelink until end of turn. Okay, and for the business, can we get a mythic? Please. No, it's rare. And we get a Choco, Seeker of Paradise from FF4. Right, this I remember. So this is 1 green, white, and blue legendary bird, 3/5. Whenever 1 or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards from the top of your library. If you can, you may put 1 of them into your hand. Then put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped and the rest in your graveyard. It has landfall. When the land you control enters, Choco gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Okay, I'll take that. No rare behind that though. So we have side quest, play Blitzball, Clash of the Acons, Demon Wall. So that I sort of remember. And Graha Tia. Okay, and then we have the Cloudbound Moogle. Oh, these are our commons. Okay, nothing there. So we're coming to the middle of the stack now. We're pack number, what's this? 14 or 15 from this stack. So we're basically in the middle of the box now. Fortunately, still only 2 mythics. Hoping to get at least 5. Maybe we can turn our fortunes here. Okay, for the foil, we have a Cloud of Darkness. So it's 2 blue, two black and green avatar. FF3, 3/3 flying particle beam with Cloud of Darkness enters. When Cloud of Darkness enters, target creature and opponent controls gets -X for X number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Okay, so I think it works for Golgari for sure. And then for the rare, we have a Tifa Lockhart. Okay, so she is a human monk, 1/2, 2 to cast with trample, and has landfall. When a land you control enters, double Tifa's power until end of turn. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Can we get another rare? Yes, we do. It's from FF3 this time. It is the Darkness Crystal. So seems like we're collecting crystals for this particular box. So it's a 4-cast legendary artifact. Black spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If a non-creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead and you gain 2 life. Pay 4, tap, put target creature card exiled with Darkness Crystal onto the battlefield tapped under your control with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, and Zac Fair to start off the uncommons. Self-destruct. Summon Anima. I hope they don't make a card summon Anima. That's bad. Okay, and then commons there. Okay, so we're now officially moving into the second half of the box and the second half of the stack. Again, still, we're stuck at 2 mythics. Hopefully you can get some more. Okay. So we're starting off with a hero token. And then for the land, we get this land town duel. Okay, for the foil. Okay, common foil, we have a Thunder Magic. Alright, and then can we get a mythic, please? No. It is, though, a showcase art. Nature's Claim, which is called Search for the Frozen Esper from FF6. Okay. Instant destroy target artifact enchantment. Its controller gains 4 life. Okay, here we go. Come on, give us a mythic. No, it's not. But we get Noctis, Prince of Lucis. 1 white, blue, and black. Legendary human noble for 3 with lifelink. You may cast artifact spells from your graveyard by paying 3 life in addition to paying their other costs. If you cast a spell with this way, this artifact enters with a finality counter on it. I see. Okay. I don't know. Not very strong. And then we have Ignis Scientia. So 1 in a Simic, human advisor. Okay. Queen Brani. Is that how you spell it? Overkill, which I think is a pretty cool card. Fight on for the commons, so on. Okay, moving to the next pack. So far, just 2 mythics. Nothing yet on the spicy stuff. I don't know. This might be an extremely dud box. Bad way to end the year. Okay, we have a foil swamp. Okay, foil common Bard's Bow. And come on, let's get something good. Yes, we do have a mythic, right? Mythic number 3. It's red. It is Nibelheim a Flame. So this is a 4-cast sorcery. Choose target creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. If the spell is cast from a graveyard, discard your hand and draw 4 cards. So it has flashback 5. So it's like Chandra's Ignition. With some additional, I suppose, mechanics. Not the mythic I was looking for, but yeah, it's fine. Oh, but we do get a second rare from FF3, and we get Firion, Wild Rose Warrior. So what does this do? 3 to cast, legendary human rebel warrior. Equipped creatures you control have haste. Okay, fine. Whenever a non-token equipment you control enters, create a token that's a copy of it, except that this equipment's abilities cost 2 less to activate. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, that could be useful. Right, so I'll put that over here. So side quest card collection. Sid, Timeless Artificer, very popular guy. Chocobo Racetrack. Ether. And then Blitzball to start the commons. Okay, nothing there. So we have 3 mythics so far. Again, we're targeting 5, hoping for 6. 7 would be a dream. Okay, we're starting off with a bird creature token. Foil Windhurst Federation Center for the foil. Okay, we haven't got any mythic or rare foils yet, so I'm hoping that we get something good here. Ventures in. Okay, for the rare, we have a Warrior of Light. Okay, in the showcase art. So this is Joda the Unifier, Wooburg. Legendary creatures, you get XX, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Whenever you cast legendary spell. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's any good, but that's fine. Okay, I'll take that. But there is a second rare, and it is Mughals Valor. So it's a 5 to cast instant. For each creature you control, create a 1/2 white Mughal creature token with lifelink. These creatures you control, creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Okay, that's not bad. Costs 5 mana, way too much, I think. But sure. Okay, Tifa's Limit Break. Shantoto Tactician Magician. Okay, we have a Lionheart here. And yeah, Magic Pot to start the commons. Okay, so nothing there. Okay, last 2 packs now for the stack. 3 mythics to show. Fortunately, I don't think we got anything spicy from this stack yet. So, chances are starting to dim here that we're going to get some good stuff. Okay, so we're starting off with a Forest Borderless. For the foil, still uncommon. Poo Poo UFO. Okay, 2 to cast Construct Alien Artifact Creature, 0 forward flying. Tap, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield, which is cool. Pay 3 until end turn. This creature's base power becomes equal to the number of towns you control. Okay, Poo Poo. And for the rare, we have Dawn, Warrior's Legacy. And so it's 4 to cast. Oh, so it's Mizzix's Mastery. 4 to cast sorcery. Okay, from FF5. Alright. Oh, and we have a mythic. Okay, so this is a second rare mythic from this box. I mean, from this pack. And it would be... How lovely. A duplicate of Clive. Like I said, I'm not too impressed with this guy. Don't know what his how much that would cost, but still. And there's a little bit of damage there. If you can see that line, it's not from me. So okay, not what I was looking for, but hey, it's a mythic. Mythic number 4, 1 more to hit our target. So for each stack, we're averaging 2 mythics. So maybe we'll hit 6. Okay, Auron's Inspiration, Black Waltz number 3, Galoof's Final Act, and then commons. Okay, last pack now for stack number 2 before we hit the home stretch. 10 more packs to go for this. Okay, so Hero Token. Gone, Town of Ruin. For the foil, we have a common Koyurl. Is that how you say it? And then for the rare, we have a Summon, GF Cerberus. For to cast Enchantment Creature Saga Dog. So Surveil 1. And then after that, double when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, copy it. And choose new targets. And then triple when you next cast your instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. Relentless X Atmos 92. Primal Garuda. Esper Ramu. Swallowed by Leviathan. Okay, FF2. Okay, and then commons. Okay, so that's it for stack number 2. So unfortunate that for that stack we get 2 Clives. 2 Clives. You can sense the frustration in my voice, but okay, it's just a game. Just pieces of cardboard. Let's get to it. Okay, so we have a hero token. Gongaga Reactor Town for the land. And then for the foil, still common foil, Gigantode for the cast Frog. And for the rare, it is an Esper Origins in the showcase art. Full art, so 2 to cast sorcery, surveil 2, you gain 2. If the spell was cast from a graveyard, exile it and put in the battlefield, transformed under its owner's control with a finality counter on it. So flashback 4. So it actually turns into enchantment creature Saga Elemental Esper Maduin. Reveal the top hardware library. If it's a permanent card, put in your hand. For the second lower counter, add 2 mana, and for the third, other creatures you control +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. Okay, so I'll put this over here. Showcase borderless. Okay, and we have a Ring of the Lucci. Uncommon, but it's a legendary artifact. Okay, that I don't get. Sorceress Schemes. Travel the other world. Phoenix Down, okay. So that's what lifes you up, right? Phoenix Down. Okay, so let's move on here. So we're moving on to the next pack. Still stuck at 4 mythics here. Nothing, no hits really. Sorry to say, but let's keep going. So another foil, Dreams of Laguna. And for the rare, we have a Van Street Thief. So this is from FF12. 3 to cast. Human Scout, legendary creature 2/2. Never one or more scouts, pirates, or rogues you control deal combat damage to a player. Exile top card of that player's library. You may cast it. If you don't, create a treasure token. Okay. Whenever you cast a spell you don't own, put a 1/1 counter on each scout, pirate, and rogue you control. Yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting mechanic. Good for commander. I think you can get some value there. You can create treasure, or you can add 1/1 counters. That's pretty cool. Okay, and then we have a second rare under it. That would be Zodiarch Umbral God. So 5 black pips on this guy. So it's a legendary creature, God, with indestructible. So when it enters, each player sacrifices half the non-god creatures they control of their choice rounded down. I'm sorry. Whenever a player sacrifices another creature, you put a 1/1 counter on Zodiarch. Okay, that could be quite bad. If you can give this guy trample, then he would be a problem. Okay, so we'll put that over here. So Realm Sketching, Dark Knight's Greatsword, Freya Crescent, and then commons there. Okay, still stuck at 4. We need at least 1 more mythic for this box to make sense. 2 mythics would at least allow us to hit our goal. Value wise, I don't think we're nowhere near the value where we got this box. And none of the chase cards either. Okay, so planes, here we go. Foil is still a common, Slash of Light. Underneath that, we have a rare. It is Sin, Spira's Punishment. Okay, so this is 4 black, green, and blue Leviathan avatar with flying 7/7. Whenever it enters or attacks, exile a permanent card from your graveyard at random, then create a tap token that's a copy of that card. If the card exiled is that card, repeat this process. Okay. So that goes over here in the borderless art. Emperor of Palamesia. Okay, Okay. The Crystal's Chosen, Cloud of Darkness, Stolen Uniform. Okay, and then commons. So let's keep going. Let's try to blaze through the remaining part of this box, and hopefully we can end this in a great way. So Vector foil is an Ahriman foil, and bam! So no, unfortunately, Aerith Gainsborough, 3 to cast Human Cleric with lifelink. Every gain life, put a 1 counter on Aerith, and when it dies, put X 1 counters on each legendary creature you control, or X's number of 1 counters on Aerith. Okay. And then you have a side quest: raise a Chocobo, Opera Love Song, Diamond Weapon, 9 to cast, 8/8. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay. Circle of Power, Crossroads Village for the comments. Okay, nothing there. Okay, chugging along. We're still down or behind 1 mythic in terms of the target. Way behind probably on the value. Probably we're sitting at maybe a third of the value for what I paid for this thing. Okay, so we have an island. Foil common, Dragoon's Wyvern. And then for the rare, we have a Joshua, Phoenix's Dominant. So 1 and Boros, Human Noble Wizard, 3/4. So when it enters, discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. And then pay 5, exile Joshua, then return transformed. And it becomes Phoenix, Warden of Fire. So first 2 lore counters, deals 2 damage to each opponent. And then third lore counter, return any number of target creature cards with total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then exile Phoenix, return it to the battlefield tapped. Okay, so this one goes over here. Okay, and then we got Ultimaceia, Time Sorceress, Delivery Moogle, Omega, Heartless Evolution, Barret Wallace, and then commons here. Okay, we are now down to the last 6 packs of the box. Well, this is turning out to be a dud. I have to think this is supposed to be the last box for the year. Let's see if we can get something good. Buster Sword, baby. Speaking of Buster Sword, check that out. Hope that brings us some good tidings here. Okay. Foil common, Haste Magic, and then we have a Golbez. Okay, he's the second, I suppose, main antagonist for FF4, which is actually Sir Conrad the Grim. Okay, which makes sense. Makes sense. Then for the rare, we have a Starting Town. So this is a land. Tap unless it's your first, second, or third turn of the game. Pay 1 life to add 1 mana of any color. Okay, nothing there. Poo-Poo, UFO, Elixir, Rinoa, Heartily, Unexpected, Request. And then a bunch of commons. Okay, last 5 packs now. Hoping we get something good here. Hoping we get something good. So we have a hero, Borderless Island. Okay, Fang, Icy in foil, uncommon. And we have a Van, Aspiring Pirate, uncommon. In this game art, maybe. And then we have Golbez, Crystal Collector, in rare this time. So blue, black, Human Wizard, 1/4. Whenever an artifact you control enters, surveil for 1. Bane of your end step, if you control 4 or more artifacts, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And if you control 8 or more artifacts, each opponent loses life equal to that card's power. Okay, that's interesting. No second rare here. We have Final Days, Cargo Ship, Quinoa, 2 Garment, and then commons. Whew, gosh, this is turning out to be a major dud. So still stuck at 4 mythics, which 2 of them are duplicates, right? And not my year this year. Okay, so hero, Rabanastri Royal City. For the foil, we have a Sage's Nulitz. For the rare, we have a Summon Titan, so 5 to cast. First lower counter, mill 5 cards. Then second one, return all land cards from graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Third one is until end of turn, other target creature control gains trample, gets XX versus X is number of lands you control. So this is a 7/7 reach trample guy. Okay, he's not bad. He's not bad, I think. Some utility there. And then we have Vanilla Ice, Dragoon's Lance, Luck Coal, Coral Sword. Okay, then commons. Okay, still down to 3 more packs, and we're still at 4 mythics. Looks doubtful now that we're gonna hit our target of 5. But hey, one of those unboxings recently, I had like what, 3 mythics in 1 pack? Insane. Okay, here we go. Baron, Airship Kingdom. And do we get a mythic? No, it's just a foil, Cloudbound Moogle. And next to that is a rare. It's Genova, Ancient Calamity. So 2 and Golgari, Alien, 1/5. Beginning of combat in your turn, put a number of 1/1 counters equal to Genova's power up to 1 other target creature. That becomes a mutant in addition to other types. When a mutant you control dies during your turn, you draw cards equal to its power. No second rare, unfortunately. So that's about it. We get Crystal Fragments in the showcase art. Colosseum Behemoth. Okay. Ambrosia Whiteheart. And Ilmeg Pixie. And commons. Okay, so we're down to the last 2 packs now. Hoping for some last pack magic. Come on, Magic Gods. Give me something good here. So we have a hero, Guadasalam Farplane Gateway. Oh, and we have a mythic foil. Thank God. It's a mythic foil. Okay, let's see. Don't be Clive, please. Okay, Clive is 0318, so this is 0322. And we have a Kefka Court Mage. So what does this guy do? So 2 blue, black, and red human wizard. 4/5. When Kefka enters or attacks, each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. Okay, good card draw. Pay 8. Each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Then you can transform Kefka into Kefka, Ruler of Ruin. So this is a legendary avatar wizard, 5/7 with flying. Whenever an opponent loses life during your turn, you draw that many cards. Ouch. So this is a... yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Might have some value there. So I'll put this one right over here. Okay, and then... oh, we have a second rare. Cecil Dark Knight. So 1 to cast Human Knight Black, 2/3, Death Touch. Whenever Cecil deals damage, you lose that much life. Then if your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life, untap Cecil and transform it. And it becomes Cecil Redeemed Paladin with lifelink. Whenever Cecil attacks, other attack creatures gain indestructible end of turn. Okay, so let's put that over here. Alright. And then we get a third rare. Okay. So we get Machinist's Arsenal. 4 to cast. 5 to cast artifact equipment with job select. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 for each artifact you control. It is an artificer in addition to its other types. Equip for 4. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. You can have tons of artifacts, right? Like tokens and all of that stuff. And your creature's gonna get super big. So okay, so I think that's good. That's a nice one. So maybe you can call that a spicy pack. Okay, so we've hit our target now, 5 mythics. Right on the nose. We still have 1 more pack to go, by the way, so we could still improve on that. So Gaius Van Baelsar, Giot, King of the Dwarves from FF4, helpful guy, double strike, Boros. When Giot or another dwarf you control enters, and whenever an equipment you control, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Okay, I like that. Reach the Horizon. And then comments. Okay, here we go. Last pack now. 5 mythics. Unfortunately, 2 of them are the same card, just different treatment in terms of art. But I'm hoping that we get 1 more mythic. I'd be happy. I'd be happy with it. Alright, so hero. So it's a land. And for the foil... Okay, we get a foil rare. So we have a mythic and foil rare. Came in the last 2 packs. It is... Ooh! Ultima Origin of Oblivion. I think this might have some nominal value. I don't know, maybe $10. We'll see. I'll take a look at the prices after, but this is a foil, so at least there's something special there. So it's 5 to cast legendary creature god. When Ultima attacks, put a blight counter target land. For as long as that land has a blight counter on it, it loses all land types and abilities and has tap 4 colorless. Okay, and whenever you tap a land for colorless, add an additional colorless. Okay, so I think that's good. It's gonna go into my colorless deck. The what do you call this? The Eldrazi deck. So it doesn't transform or anything. Okay, so nice foil rare. Actually, do we have any foil rares? We don't. So this is the only foil rare that we're getting. Right. And you still have 1 rare to go. Hopefully it's a mythic. No, it's not. But we do get a wind crystal. Right. So we have the earth crystal here. We have the darkness crystal, the wind crystal, and then we have the wind crystal, the second one. Yeah, fortunately it's a reprint. I mean, it's not a duplicate, rather. So this we already know, and I think that's about it. So I think that's what we get. Eden, Valkyrie, Aerial Unit, Snow Villiers, Torgal, Fine Hound, and comments. Okay, so let's take a look at it. I think the only thing here, from my opinion, that has any real value might be this foil borderless or showcase art Kefka. And then maybe that Ultima Origin of Oblivion. But apart from that, I don't think we have anything of value here. So from rare mythics alone, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 5, 6, 7, 38, 39. Only 39 mythics and rares. And I believe before, when you had set boosters, because there were 6 additional packs, you would get like, maybe in the mid 40s, I think, of rares and mythics. So this time around looks like it's really not what we're looking for. But hey, that's it for the year. Thank you for joining me on the adventure of opening these magic products. Probably won't be having any more unboxings until January, and I think at that point we're gonna start with Lorwyn. And I did make a pre-order for, I think, collector booster, so we can start the year pretty good, and hopefully we get some good cards there. But until then, take care everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bye bye.